Rob C's Kitchen. I'm Chef Rob C. Well, today we're going to go over how to make my famous beef jerky. Okay, so first off we're going to talk about the type of meat that you need to get. So what this is, I went to the store and I got some thinly sliced bulgogi meat, which basically is a beef round cut to about a 15 or 20 on the meat slicer. So let me show you the texture on this. So we got about a meat slice that's about this thick here. Now you can see here with the way I pull it, it's about a good tension there. It doesn't pull apart apart. So the first thing I do is lay out my meat. I'll just lay it out here on my table surface. So I'm going to lay it out as such. Okay, now that I got my meat all laid out and spread apart, I'm going to talk about my main ingredients here. Okay, first main ingredient, sea salt. Now sea salt is definitely one of my primary flavors in this beef jerky. So I go ahead and take my sea salt, spread it across my meat and such, and I'm going to do this on each side here. Okay, then I got my pepper here. Just do a little bit of pepper. Not too much pepper, you know, unless you're into the pepper flavor. And then I got my garlic powder. Okay, just a little bit of garlic powder. You don't want to overwhelm the flavors here with the garlic powder. Just take the garlic powder, just spread it apart there, just like a little bit of a mist. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. Okay, so I just finished seasoning my meat on both sides. Again, with the pepper, the salt, and the garlic powder. Now, let's talk about the marinade. Alright, it's real simple marinade actually. A little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of teriyaki, and Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Man, I mess that up every time. Worcestershire. Alright, let's get that right. Okay, so we got the soy sauce here, just a little bit of soy sauce. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to end up mixing it up. So I put it inside of my little marinade bowl here. Just a little bit of soy sauce for a little bit of a soy flavor. Then I got my teriyaki. Now of course, depending on your flavor, I like my regular beef jerky. Right now we're focused on the regular beef jerky. I like my regular beef jerky with the Worcestershire flavor to it. Now I got my teriyaki in there. Just a little bit more than I put in the soy. And of course my main ingredient is the Worcestershire. Now you want to be sparing here, depending on how much meat you bought. So I got my 3 ingredients there. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a chili powder here. Now we got a little bit of New Mexico hot chili here. Now of course it's not that hot because all I'm going to do is just sprinkle a little bit in there just like that. Just a little bit so it gets on the surface of that marinade. I'm going to take a little bit of pepper. Take a little bit of salt here. I'm going to take a little bit of my garlic powder. And there we go. So go ahead and mix this up. And boy, that's basically it for my marinade. So I'm going to go ahead and set this down. Then I go ahead and start setting my meat up inside of my marinade bowl, where it's going to sit for about 4 hours. You want that marinade for about 4 hours. Got a little bit of layer of teriyaki there at the bottom, just so I make sure that I get that bottom in there. So go ahead and start laying the meat down. Now you don't want to layer the meat too much because you want to make sure that marinade gets in between the layers there. So I go ahead and add a little bit as I layer it, a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this up right here. Okay folks, as you can see here, I went ahead and finished up the package I had for my regular beef jerky, and I spiced both sides again, remember with the salt, the pepper, and the garlic powder. And then I went ahead and added it back to my marinade bowl. Again, layering it, one piece of meat, a little bit of marinade, another piece of meat, a little bit of marinade. And you just want to make sure that you go ahead and stir it around there. We're going to let this sit for a little bit, okay? So let me go ahead and start and teach you guys a little bit of how I make my hot beef jerky. Now this is my specialty, boy, I like to make this a lot. Okay, so same process, basically the same process. Now we're going to start here. We're going to look at our cut again, okay? We're going to look at our cut. Okay, good cut, right? There we go. Now instead, I'm going to show you one piece here. Instead of doing just the salt, the pepper, the garlic. We're going to add a couple little special ingredients here. Okay, this is called chili cayenne. Cut a little slice in there. Boy, this is very, very hot, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and spread this on this bad boy. Just a little bit like that. A little bit of cayenne pepper. And this is going to give it some good heat, alright? So we're going to go ahead and flip it over and do the same thing on this side. Okay? A little bit of pepper, just a little bit. Salt, of course, your main ingredient. Boy, beef jerky's good when you got some salt. And of course our nice hot cayenne pepper. Okay? Now this is going to be one hot piece of jerky right here. You can just go ahead and lay that down. Then we got some cayenne pepper as a nice base. So when I take my new piece of meat, I can just go ahead and baste it right there. Okay? Now we got that. Then we're going to add a little bit of special hot sauce to our marinade. Okay, remember this is the regular marinade. I had some leftovers, so I'm just going to add some tapatio here. A little bit of tapatio. Well, that's going to heat it up a little bit. And a little bit of Louisiana hot sauce. This is some special stuff that I got here. Add a little bit in there. Then we're going to go ahead and add some little bit of red pepper. Put a little bit of red pepper on the jerky itself. Alright. And of course we got to add our New Mexico hot chili. Then we got ourselves a hot marinade right there, I'll tell you. Mix that up. Oh man, that's going to be good. I like some hot and spicy stuff. Boy, and I know my daughter does too. I train her young. Alright, so again, put the beef jerky in and you're going to start layering the marinade like that. And of course what I'm going to do, by the magic of television, is finish this real quick for you. Put my whole batch of meat there. And you're going to have a whole batch of marinated beef jerky. So I'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I just finished my hot beef jerky. Now, remember, I just layered it, put the marinade, add a little bit more marinade because I didn't really have enough there. So we'll go ahead and cover this up, put it in the refrigerator, let this marinate for about 4.5 hours. And then cover this one up here too. So just remember, by the magic of television, I've already done this. Here's some pieces of meat here that have been marinating for about 4 hours. This is my regular beef jerky flavor. So we go ahead and take it out, and you can see that it's all brown now. It's all brown from the marinade. Great looking piece of meat. Then we're going to take our dehydrator. Of course, can't make beef jerky without a dehydrator. So we're going to take our dehydrator. We're going to start on our bottom layer here. We're just going to lay it out as so here. You want to make sure that your meat spreads apart on the whole dehydrator. You don't want to double layer it or anything like that. It's definitely going to affect the amount of time that you have with dehydrating this piece of meat. So you'll just fill it as much as you can here. And of course you can be creative with it and cut pieces and like that. But you always end up right at the end, you got one piece of meat left, and you want to, of course, have to cut it up to get all these little spaces filled up. So we got a nice little layer here, nice little layer of meat. Of course, we're going to layer this, go and fill this whole bad boy up, and then we're going to let this thing dehydrate. Well, depending on the thickness of the meat. So now these bulgogi slices, again, sliced at about a 15 to a 20 on a meat cutter. It'll be about 4.5 hours at minimum. I usually go about 5 hours, just get a little bit of a chip kind of feel to it, you know, like a kind of a little bit of a break. So I'll show you right here by the magic of television what I mean in 1 second. Okay, so as you can see here, I just finished dehydrating one of my batches of regular beef jerky, and you can see the texture here. It comes out, yeah, it's a little bit soft, but a little bit crispy at the same time. So, boy, that's the goal behind this, and geez, I'll tell you, yum yummy. So, same principle lies for making the hot beef jerky. Same amount of time. You just want to let it marinate, get that heat soaked in there. And if you feel necessity while you're layering it on the hot beef jerky, go ahead and add a little bit of more red hot chili peppers there. and boy, you'll enjoy them. So, thanks for watching.